This is Barry Heads with Sharp Counsel. Thanks for tuning in today. The name of this sharp snippet is Think Risk. Think Risk. But before we get into it, I want to congratulate you and all the listeners. I want to congratulate you for taking time to improve yourself and invest in yourself. It is very challenging. It can be filled with a lot of chaos while we're on this journey to improvement. But I want you to take a moment to congratulate yourself, to be thankful because what you're doing takes courage, it takes work, it takes energy, it takes effort. Sometimes we fall, but we get back up. But take some time to congratulate yourself. Now, for the sharp snippet we're talking about today, I want to bring this idea to mind. Don't just take risks. We hear that, we read that in blogs, we see that in movies. I don't want you just to take risk. I want you to think risk. From time to time, we all need to update our thinking. Quite simply, from time to time, we all need to update our thinking. Risk can be quite frightening. The word is quite frightening for some people. Uh, for myself, it's not exactly frightening, but it does bring up some sort of trepidation from time to time. I've taken so many risks throughout my life, whether it was changing jobs, changing long term relationships, even starting a business like Sharp Counsel, a consulting firm like Sharp Counsel. It's always a risk. I changed jobs from working in the political field where I worked for mayors and congressmen and state representatives that were in the state legislature to going back to school and quitting that job after I got a degree to doing things like working in restaurants to becoming a writer to owning my own business. So I've taken lots of risks. If you're in the middle of a risk right now, I completely understand you. Now, as a leader, when we talk about leadership, you should be currently taking a risk or thinking about planning and preparing about a risk you'll take in the future, whether that be personal, with your company, with your team, etc. Now, if you're not great at it, this is advice I give to people. If you're not great at it, get someone on your team who is. You can take or leave that advice. If you're not great at taking risks, get someone on your team who is. It might be one person, it might be two or three people in a group that can dialogue and discuss future possibilities, but you need that in your organization. With that being said, give them space if that's what you need to do. Give them space to work, give them space to learn, give them space to fail. Now, in terms of risk taking, if you're not a bit nervous or uneasy, if you don't find yourself in a moment of fear from time to time, if you don't find yourself ever waking up in the middle of the night, you're probably not taking a real risk. You're probably not taking a real risk. You might be stretching yourself a bit, but it's not a true what we think of when we talk about risk. One way to improve your ability to take risks is reading. If you're a leader, you're a reader. If you want to be a competent leader, a growing leader, a successful leader, you're a reader. If you're not reading books, you're getting lazy, whether that's books, blogs, magazines, journals, etc. If you're not reading, you're not leading well. And finally, I wanted to talk about layered risk, something I call layer risk, which is basically taking risk in multiple areas of your life in close proximity. So, for example, I could start a new project at work. I could take an acting class. I could start learning a new language. I could take a pottery class, whatever it is. You take risk in multiple areas to get the mind and the body used to being in the unknown. You get yourself used to dealing with fear, failure, uncomfortable moments. So that's what I call layered risk. I hope those few nuggets of wisdom help. I hope you learned something or got something from that. Thanks for tuning in. I know your time is precious. Keep working, keep learning. And again, congratulate yourself for what you've done. It's pretty spectacular. This is Barry Heads with Sharp Counsel. Take care.